you know, Google things like beauty and it's all white people, or when you look on TV and in TV shows and movies, white people are time and time again the protagonists of the story, the heroes of the story, and people of color are often the victims or the criminals, the perpetrators, the villains.
Pronouns don't equal gender, and guess what? My pronouns are still he, him, even when I look like this.
Should President Obama have issued the white privilege tax years ago to even out the income inequality amongst the races?
Yes, I think that he should have. I think that white privilege is a very big thing, and white people should understand. In terms of white privilege, it's real, and it needs to be acknowledged by a lot of people and understand their position and their privilege.
All cisgender people are transphobic, just as all men hold misogynistic views, and all white people are racist.
I'm a performance artist, and I'm standing here for the women's rights and sexual equality, because we decide by ourselves when we will be touched or not, and today you have the chance to touch in the box for 30 seconds, and feel free.
Eine Hommage an Maria Ettenhoff, die vor 50 Jahren Frauen und Männer sind aufgefordert. Für das Kino greifen.
There are only two genders in this world.
People in the West very clearly live in societies that glorify a specific type of body. That's the kind of body that's glorified in television, in movies, in advertising. I think one of the main privileges that thin people experience, and yes, I'm including very thin people, is that their weight doesn't exclude them from getting proper medical care. This is a very common experience where if someone is considered fat, they go into the doctor, and instead of focusing on the ailment that they're talking about, the doctor will say, oh, I think you need to lose some weight. You know, it could be completely unrelated to whatever symptoms they're having, but that's always the doctor's first choice.
Oh yeah, I'm a gender studies major.
You see this feminine face? Do not let it fool you. I do not go by she and her pronouns. I go by they and them pronouns, okay?
Reverse racism doesn't exist, and I want to talk about that and really evaluate that, not coming from a place of playing the victim, but trying to get through this to become more socially conscious together, me and you. Let's do that. So chances are, if you're claiming reverse racism is a real thing, you're a white person who has been insulted or discriminated against because of the color of your skin, because you're white. And that's shitty, and I'm sorry that happened to you. But the reason why that is not racism is because it is not reinforced by years of societal values or holds any truth of social realities. It's like if you were making fun of someone because they couldn't walk, but they really could walk, so they would just get up, brush it off, and be like, well, I can walk, so screw you. But if you really were making fun of someone who couldn't walk because they couldn't walk, that insult is reinforced by their reality, which makes that insult have so much more weight than if it did if it weren't a reality.
I thought the guy I sat next to in English was racist and sexist.
Turns out, though, he's racist, sexist, and homophobic.
You're a girl because you have a vagina. What makes you say I have a vagina? Who knows? Maybe I have a dick. Maybe not. My gender is valid. Unlike your opinion.
Now the pulmonologist walks in the room and greets me by saying, oh, I know why you're short of breath. You weigh over 300 pounds. I don't even need to examine you. That's weight bias.
Waiting for a bus suddenly becomes dangerous. A woman swings a bag at a bus marshal, then calls for a heavier weapon.
Give me a scooter bus.
Her two small children are watching on in tears when the bus marshal knocks her legs out from under her, dropping the young mum to the ground.
Stop it! Stop it!
Undeterred, she gets back up and comes at him again.
Please stop! Please stop!
The woman takes a swing, then tries to steal his folder, And then, once again, the bus marshal swiping the legs out from under her.
Wait, is it all on recording?
This time dropping the mum to the pavement with a sickening thud.
It's all on recording.
Imagine if this lady had hit her head, died from hitting on the pavement, her poor little kids had no mother.
What were the kids doing through it? Oh, they were just screaming, crying, trying to help their mum.
They said the woman was angry because the marshal gave her the wrong directions, making her late for a hospital appointment.
She said to him multiple times that's why the fight had begun, because she's now late to her back operation, and that's why she was so angry.
With trains not operating due to track work, there were extra staff at Blacktown bus station to handle the influx of delayed passengers. Dylan and Cody agree the woman was aggressive, but they believe the burly bus marshal didn't need to knock her over.
It would have been hard to handle with her, but what you should have done is walked away or got someone else to sort it out for him, because the way he was trying to get through to it, she didn't want to listen to him.
The 24-year-old woman was okay, eventually refusing ambulance assistance and hasn't made a police complaint. Police were called to investigate her for assault, but say the 45-year-old bus marshal didn't want to press charges.
Hi, my name is Riley, and if you call me she one more fucking time, I'm gonna drop kick you.
The belief that women are somehow a naturally weaker gender is a deeply ingrained, socially constructed myth, which of course is completely false.
Gender fluid is when your gender changes. So some days you're just like, girl, no, boy, no. Oh, where's my pen?
A liberal student there, Sandra Cohn, has penned a piece which is raising the eyebrows of a number of individuals this morning. She had written a piece around the idea that we should get rid of academic freedom in favor of academic justice. She is sick and tired there at Harvard of dealing with research that comes out, which may counteract her own viewpoints of life. She can't stand when academic research comes out that doesn't support her liberal ideology.
Yeah, she's a senior there, and the title of this piece is "The Doctrine of Academic Freedom. Let's give up on academic freedom in favor of justice." She's a women's studies and gender equality and that type of advocate as well. Well, if our university community opposes racism, here's what she says: sexism and heterosexism, why should we put up with research that counters our goals simply in the name of academic freedom? Instead, I would like to propose a more rigorous standard, one of academic justice. When an academic community observes research promoting or justifying oppression, it should ensure that this research does not continue.
In other words, the truth, when it's inconvenient, should be squelched. There's a name for this. It's called fascism. And what's amazing is this girl is a senior. As you just said, this is the fruit of a Harvard education. After 4 years at Harvard, you conclude, or she has, that the truth, when inconvenient, ought to be suppressed. If she had absolute power, how many people would die?
Of academic freedom and instead have academic justice.
Again, this is what fascism looks like. I mean, the point of a university of free inquiry is to get to what is true, not to what makes you feel good, not to what's expedient or useful politically in the moment, but to what is absolutely true based on science, the scientific process. That's the whole point.
Right.
And so she's basically not just attacking things that she doesn't like politically, she's attacking the very notion of a liberal education.
Right.
It's scary.
The free flow of ideas. You can have disagreement. You can rally and say that you disagree with it, but then to make sure that a professor is never published again by the university press, this academic research is then squashed.
The whole point of tenure is, right, we have tenure in college, the whole point is professors can say things that are unpopular, but are true. And this is a safe place for them to do it. And she's basically saying, and I think a lot of people on the left feel this way.
Let us know what you think about this. Friends at FoxNews.com. Go to our Facebook page as well. FF Weekend over there.